The PlayStation Store's holiday sale is rolling on, and they actually added a plethora of new deals. However, they have not made it all too intuitive for you to actually discover these new deals. But nonetheless, that's where I come in, and once again, I'm taking a look at 10 fantastic PS4 game deals as a part of the holiday sale. Now, some of these deals are the new additions. Some of them are the games that were already available, but are great deals nonetheless. So without further ado, let's get right into it, as there's a lot of great deals to go over. Kicking things off, I want to give a mention to the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Special Edition and Fallout 4 Game of the Year Edition bundle. This is a fantastic deal. Typically goes for $80, but it is 65% off for $28. And as it would suggest, it includes the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Special Edition as well as Fallout 4 and all of the DLC with the Game of the Year Edition. Fantastic, fantastic value. I know the majority of you guys have at least played one of these games, but if you're in the minority where you haven't played either of these titles, fantastic buy. Skyrim is one of those timeless games and the games that you can always go back to, and with all of the DLC, adds a lot of longevity to that game. And Fallout 4, while I wouldn't say it's as good as some of the previous Fallout games, there's still stuff to like out of it. You get all the DLC, and what that means is between these two games, you are going to be spending a lot of time across both of them if you are planning to do everything, and $28 for that amount of gameplay, I would say, is a really good buy. Alright, next up, Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown, 50% off for $30. Now, this is actually kind of a disappointing discount just because Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown came out right around the same time as Resident Evil 2 and Kingdom Hearts 3. It actually came out, like, I believe a week before the aforementioned titles, but Ace Combat 7 still holding up in price at $30. Those two other titles, Resident Evil 2 you can regularly find for like $19, Kingdom Hearts 3 regularly find that for $15, and those are two much more notable games. Ace Combat 7, a great game, but still holding up at $30 is a little bit of a bummer. But I would still say the game is very much worth it. It's a high-octane action flight game, and there's not a lot of great ones out there of this archetype, and it's really good. Become an ace pilot and soar through photorealistic skies with full 360-degree movement down enemy crafts, and enjoy the experience and thrill of engaging in these battles. $30 for the game gives you a quality campaign mode with some very over-the-top moments as well. I think Ace Combat 7 is one of those games that goes over the top in the best way possible, and again, $30 for it is a good buy. Alright, next up we have Red Dead Redemption 2. It is 50% off for $30. Another game I imagine a lot of you guys already own, but if you've been waiting for it to go on sale, $30 for it is a great buy. I wouldn't say that Red Dead Redemption 2 is an absolutely perfect game. However, its narrative is incredibly strong, and this is a game with a ton of content to it. And again, there is Red Dead Online. And if you don't own Red Dead Redemption 2, I feel like it's one of those games that is an essential part of any library. So $30 for it, I think, is a great buy, even if Red Dead Online isn't the best thing in the world. Alright, next up, if you want a game that you can spend a considerable amount of time with, Monster Hunter World Iceborne Master Edition is the way to go. That is 33% off for $40.19. That includes Monster Hunter World and Monster Hunter World Iceborne. And across the base game and its expansion, you are talking so much gameplay, it is ridiculous. The base Monster Hunter World game already was a plentiful, content-filled experience, and Capcom did a phenomenal job in consistently keeping that game updated, keeping the game fresh and reason to revisit it. Then they dropped Iceborne, and the game got even better, and now they continue to update the game and add more content. $40.19 for it is great, given the fact that Iceborne came out back in September for $40. This price point is fantastic and highly recommended if you're looking to get into the Monster Hunter World experience. Next up, we have a Plague Tale Innocence 50% off for $24.99. If you guys know me, you know that this is a game I constantly go to bat for. A Plague Tale Innocence is a phenomenal story-driven adventure, and yes, it is very much story-driven. There is gameplay to it. However, it definitely has a focus on building a high-quality narrative, building an atmosphere that absolutely absorbs you into that narrative, and it does those elements phenomenally. If you're into games that are story-heavy, a little bit emotional, and everything like that, A Plague Tale Innocence is a high-quality pickup. And this is a game that, yes, some story-driven titles take, you know, an hour, 2 hours, maybe even 3 hours to really get going. Plague Tale Innocence, by the first half an hour of the game, I was hooked to the title. It is a dark experience, and it does that so well. There's also a free demo available, so if you're not sold based on what I'm saying about the game, try out the free demo for yourself, and then it'll probably convince you to buy the game as well for $25. Next up, we have another game that is going to take you a considerable amount of time to finish, and that is Diablo 3, the Eternal Collection. That is 67% off for $19.79. So, of course, this includes Diablo Diablo 3 and all of the expansions. Generations of gamers have battled the demonic hordes of Diablo, and now it's your turn to take part in the action RPG Legacy. The Eternal Collection features Diablo 3, the Reaper of Souls expansion, and the Rise of the Necromancer pack all together in one definitive value. What does that mean? That means you'll be busy for a long time if you decide to get into Diablo 3. I know of people that have spent north of 500, 1,000 hours in the game, and that is no hyperbole. That is how much replayability Diablo 3 has. If you just want to go into the game and play through it once, yeah, you can get a shorter experience, and maybe that'll be up more of you guys' alley. I always mention how Diablo 3 is this content-filled experience, and it absolutely is. However, if you do just want to play through the game once and move on to the next game, you can do that as well. And for $19.79, it's a great game no matter which way you slice it, and I would highly recommend it to be in your PS4 library. Next up here is a high-quality multiplayer title. World War Z is 50% off for $19.99. If you do have PlayStation Plus, you'll save an additional 10% and you'll get it for $15.99. World War Z was another one of those games done by Saber Interactive that kind of came out of left field. I was not expecting the game to be as good as it was, but it turned out to be really good. It's a fantastic cooperative multiplayer experience, and that is really what is going to accentuate the game. If you play this game cooperatively, you are going to have a great time with it, and playing with a couple of buddies, it is a lot of fun. And Saber Interactive has done a fantastic job of keeping this game updated with free updates. That is the imperative. They are free updates, and given the fact that this game was released at a budget price point right out of the gate at $40, now at $16, the fact you're getting all of those updates as well makes the game even better. And if you can convince a couple of friends to pick it up, I would highly recommend World War Z, as it's a great cooperative experience. Honestly, one of the best, if not the best of the year. Next up, I want to give a shout to a PlayStation 4 exclusive that doesn't seemingly get the love that it deserves anymore, and that is Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. It's actually a little bit surprising to me, because when you think about PS4 exclusives now, I feel like the games everyone talks about are God of War, Spider-Man, and Horizon Zero Dawn, and rightfully so, those games are phenomenal, but what happened to talking about Uncharted 4? And in my opinion, maybe this isn't an opinion you guys agree with, Uncharted 4 is the best PlayStation 4 exclusive thus far. Now, that is a high bar to clear, but I feel like Uncharted 4 does that really well. Added to the fact that picking this game up right now makes a lot of sense for the few of you that never played the Uncharted games, given that the Nathan Drake collection is a PlayStation Plus freebie. Now would be a great time to also pick up Uncharted 4. You can jump into Uncharted 4 standalone as well, but you won't get some of the inside jokes and things like that. However, you can still get an incredibly paced adventure, and that's what I really think that Uncharted does better than any other game. The pacing in these games are phenomenal. Right when it gets too much, they slow it down a little bit, add some character development, and then they ramp back up. It is just a very well-crafted experience, and for $15, I highly recommend it. Next up, we've got Prey Digital Deluxe Edition, 75% off for $9.99. Prey is a first-person sci-fi action game from award-winning Arcane Studios. Arcane reimagines the franchise from the ground up with an added psychological twist, and that's what I can really say about Prey. It has that psychological element in spades and does that really well. It's 75% off for $9.99, and that's a great price. I always thought this game was a little bit underrated, and if you want a engaging single-player sci-fi first-person shooter, Prey has that covered. It has a lot of content, and they did add some updates. They even added multiplayer with Typhon Hunter. However, you really are getting to this game for the base campaign, and that campaign is done really well. And lastly, we have Assassin's Creed: The Ezio Collection. 70% off for $12. Of course, this includes the Ezio trilogy of games. You get Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and Assassin's Creed Revelations. These are, in my opinion, the best Assassin's Creed games outside of Assassin's Creed 4. Assassin's Creed 4 holds a special place in my heart, but Assassin's Creed 2 is absolutely on the level. Brotherhood is great. Revelations may have taken Ezio's story a little bit too long. However, it is a great game in its own right. And to get all three Assassin's Creed 2 experiences for $12, the Ezio collection, that is a fantastic buy. You guys know how I feel about Assassin's Creed. While I can appreciate what Odyssey and Origins have done for the series, I am more a fan of the old school Assassin's Creed style of play. That's crazy to me, actually, thinking about it, calling Assassin's Creed 2 old school. That game came out in 2009, 11 years old at this point, but nonetheless, it still holds up really well, and if you want a high-quality open-world action-adventure title, Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and Revelations will have you covered, and it's essentially getting each game for $4 as you get all three for $12. Great buy here, especially if you guys are in the same boat as me, and you aren't a big fan of the, colossal Assassin's Creed experiences that are coming out now. And that's going to conclude this video. Again, the PlayStation Store is still running some fantastic deals, and with all of these deals, you can keep yourself busy for quite a while and get some experiences on the cheap. That's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.